Today's Rusted Restorations, I'm going to turn it over. It's kind of fitting that probably the oldest riding member of the Manitoba Motorcycle Club is our speaker today. And Ray is going to talk to you, I hope, about his first bike that he bought was an early whizzer when he was 13, and he still got it. And of course, everybody knows it's legendary Miss Piggy, a 65 Pan. He's been riding since Christ was a something like that. I'll watch this around. So I turn it over right now to Ray Hood. Come on up, Ray.
December 2000. With a motorbike. Motorcycle in the days of time. Special made by Schwinn. And they got with easy to sit here and try to remember it all. They started making these in 1938, 39. And then they were catching on all over the place from something cheap as cheap in gas. BSA, winged wheel, Honda, first Cub motors were clipped to the handlebars with a friction drive, etc. And one had on the back end a BSA New Hudson, and putting on brake disparate motors on them. Then he started making this particular bike. The kit of 1939 could be fitted easily to and more permanently to a bike frame. The Whizzer was born, produced in volume mostly between 1939 and 1955, and usually made with a Schwinn bicycle. The 138cc flathead four-stroke Whizzer engine is continuously developed for more power and reliability, making all the 3 horsepower too. In the final version. Resurrected in 1999, the Whizzer company still provides new engines and complete power cycles. The gas engine powered bicycle fell into the collection known as the Trans-Canada Provincial Licensing Authorities as a limited speed motorcycle. U35, which covers mopeds, etc. That 50cc is supposed to be. And that's kept on for a time going on. So when I bought it, it was mounted on an ordinary bicycle. It wasn't a Schwinn bicycle. I bought it second hand for $75. It was a lot of money back in them days. And setting pins and bowling on it, 52.5 cents an hour. And that's why I still got it. I took a lot of balls.
What year was that bike? What year did you buy that bike?
I was 12 or 13. So.
And you're going to turn 80 next year.
Yeah.
So do the math.
That's too much.
Yeah, you gotta be
You sure that's what computer is? I haven't got a button to push.
7 years.
47 or 48. There's one of my cards I found I got back here. That was signed on 1992 from the Antique Motorcycle Club. And my luck, when Northwest Cycle was throwing away some parts I didn't know about. They didn't want to put them in the car. A friend of mine was working there, and I got like shop manual. The shop manual from Fort Whizzer. It's the actor shop manual. Where, but it gets with used a lot. Pass it around. You guys want to have a look at it. It has more than the meat trying to see it all.
So Northwest Cycle used to handle them?
Yeah. This is the insulation kit. I put together. All your parts are back here. The price is up in them days.
Hands up those people out there who've had a bike, they've owned their original bike for 67 years. Anybody? Okay, not many.
Back there.
You sound like he was fighting all that time.
Take my shoe off.
And this is the other parts manual that you got with the bike like when you bought it.
Well used.
Well used. These all came out of Northwest Cycle. I made many copies for that one for the some guys that had so when they were doing that thing, they had it's in there somewhere. They have I bought a Schwinn bike after that. That cost me another $50. And I installed it into this motor, but when they were tossing the parts out, I got a 2-speed planted gearbox transmission that ran off pulleys. They got the big wheel on the back. at so many RPM would click in and you drive along and it was going to note. You didn't have to, the belt didn't spin like the belt would just spin free on the motor. That was $75 in that day for that thing. That was still brand new to the kids. I put that on the bike. Then I got a set of telescopic forks for it, motorcycle forks. Was a spring action with a brake drum in it. Because the only bad brake ones that came with were those two brass cones in the back, which you could wear them out pretty quick. And I put a high compression head on, if you want to call that on a wizard.
Racing.
Racing, well, I give another 5 miles an hour faster, but I put my feet off the back end. and off and on, my son used it, my grandchildren used it, my cousins and nephews, and everybody had used it for years and years. But the last 8 or 10 years, it sat in the garage. Still got spark, still goes. I run it every so often. If you want to keep your motor weight long, put some STP in the oil, it'll never cease. Doesn't matter how many years it sits there.
The racer's edge.
Yeah. And that covers that one there. And my old Harley. Unless you can see it on the advance, but this is the actual card that collectors that came out for this. And it tells you how many bikes were made, the year, and the model. Because they only made this model 1 year. They made a little over 6,000 for the world. Because they went from a 6-volt system to a 12-volt system to electric start. Last year the pan head, and they all kinds of different things on it. Totally enclosed chain case in it. Now aluminum running in its own oil. With an automatic spark or automatic tensioner in it. And I've never ever had to ever tighten that chain up. I got over 100,000 miles of that vehicle now. Water burst rocket off. I just Sturgis 27 times.
What'd you do 27 times?
Sturgis, South Dakota.
27 times on the pan head
On
to start
that
off.
particular model. I've been away 37 times altogether, but that's the other arms. I sold my 64 pan to buy the 65. And I paid $1,800 for it in 72. And 73, the wife and I went to Nova Scotia and back. Came back through the States, Yarmouth, I turned around, came back and went back to BC and back that same trip. I put more miles on it than 1 year to see in this lifetime. And that's
So you went to both coasts in the same year?
yeah. Usually, I didn't have to change oil because it changes itself.
Yeah.
Total loss system.
You don't burn it. It's meant to burn oil. There's no valve guides. Right, the old ones, there's no valve guides.
Keep adding oil.
So, yeah, and I just add the trip going back.
Always has fresh oil.
Well, I use number 50 oil, and sometimes aircraft oil if I can find it. It's SDP. It doesn't leak as much. It really works. It's great stuff. Well, it fixes nothing, but I got an extra 5 pounds oil pressure because it came with all the gadgets on it that year, which is good. Distributor on it, the first year with an automatic spark advance on it. Bigger gas tank on it. 12-volt system, which is a GM, big solid waste system in it. Got a GM. My Jeep parts I use OEM. Don't have to buy from Harvard because it's all Delco Pressure. It's got lifters and all those things.
So that's the first electric glide model, right?
Yeah, last year the pan head, and the first year the electric glide, and next year they went to a shovel head.
For $1,500.
1,800 bucks, right?
But,
What did you pay for the pan?
I paid for the pan was 18. I sold my 60 for 2,000. I made $2,000.
Any offers for $1,810 for it? Any questions for Ray?
And I did put a lot of show. They had one of the big cars that they couldn't carry around on it.
Is that original paint on that bike?
Yes, including all this, painted up with
nail polish.
matching nail polish, right? The stone chips, they have to stay on there. There's what it looks like now. If you've ever been at the bike show, they're bringing this one all the time, the bike shows.
See, where's the wizard parts put so we can figure out what that part is?
They've done nothing that fits.
Any questions, Ray?
Yeah,
So
how many
he's-
miles on that?
A little over 100,000 now.
100,000 miles on the Pan. And Ray's had lots of other bikes, but as we've said, he's had the Whizzer for 67 years and the Panhead for, I guess, math 42 years straight, so that's pretty impressive.
You know, when I started as a 42, 45, and then a 47, 61, 47 30 car, 50 Pan, the 56, 59 to 64, and the 65. And I figure I've got several 100,000 miles.
Tell us about your survey car that you use.
Well, that's one of the ones in there. I drove it winter and summer for 2 years. It had a big box on the back. Came in a Moore's taxi and had a bar in the front that you clamp to the bumper when cars had bumpers. You go pick it up and drive it back. So that we took, had an actual box on it. Or put off, they call for rotor brake lining. And I would pick up wheel, weight drums off of trucks, put it in the back. They use a crane to hold that on. They had power steering in the front end to it. Touch it, it would come off the ground. And we were doing clutches and relighting clutches and brakes. And I had all slim bakes, Transcona. They're delivered winter and summer, so I drove the bike winter and summer. I had that one, and I had, at that time, I had a 47, 61, which I wish I would have kept each one, but you had to sell each one, or else the kids, nobody wanted to take my kids, so the bikes had to go.
Just to add to that, I mean, if the Manitoba Motorcycle Clubhouse was still up, you'd see a lot of pictures on the wall of Ray winning many races in the 1950s. He was a very good racetrack racer, but not to be outdone, his son was also national champion, I don't know how many times, and at 50 years old went down to Las Vegas and won the World Championship for 50-year-olds and olders. And
Three of them.
how many years?
Well, three of them, the feature championships.
Three, yeah, oh, that's right. Ted Hector told me he went down there and not only did he go down and win at 50, but changed classes and kept racing and jumping onto other bikes at 50 years old. And now your granddaughter is
Yeah, she's taught me.
high-end motocross racer. So 3 generations of motorcycle racing family.
I never had the bikes they had. I had my old jaws had springs and grease, and that's only 3 inches. Come off a jump, I broke the handlebars right off the one part of them.
What year did you join the MMC?
I don't know. It's my card so bad I can't read the numbers on it anymore. It would have been about 18, I guess, yeah.
18? Get your shoes off.
Oh, yeah,
I gotta start
check that
counting.
again.
1953.
62 years ago.
There you go.
Do the math, guys. 62 years he's been a member of the MMC.
I found some old pictures of you racing at the old clubhouse,
Yeah.
back from the 68.
Yeah. Well, that was, well, there was nothing out there, so we used to race around the clubhouse.
Yeah.
That was an actual racetrack to begin with.
With Chautauqua days.
Yeah.
So I have those pictures.
That would be a 350 Java Twin.
Yeah.
They couldn't catch that thing. They didn't have no power, just rolled across the snow. Couldn't spin the wheels, it was great racers. They did half miles, scrambles, enduros, TTs, hill climbs, and ice racing.
And the same up at
For about 40 years. Till my granddaughter beat me. 400, she only had a 250. Ice racing.
Awesome.
There's no fear when you're that age, though. That ice hill race.
So his granddaughter's racing now on the circuit and does very well. How old is she? 24 and been racing since he was a kid, so it's pretty good. Thank you, Ray. Awesome. I probably should ask the mystery part before we found out.